Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Here in Austin, it's overcast, a little bit of rain, but it's a great day to be alive. And if you don't know me, my name is Sam. I've been making videos for quite some time. And over the past few months, I've been doing a lot of podcasts. I love podcasting. It's always been a dream of mine to do it. And I love bringing new friends and guests into our world that can help us with childhood trauma, betrayal trauma, understanding the mind of the unfaithful, how our inner child works. I've got some great guests, and so the podcast will be back next week, Sam's Healing Podcast, and I'm thrilled for the next couple of guests that are coming in, even more thrilled about the topics that we're going to be discussing. Today, though, I wanted to make a video on overfunctioning. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a self-proclaimed overfunctioner. I've been working real hard at it. And overfunctioning is something that is massively toxic in relationships, as well as relationships that have been affected by infidelity or betrayal. Overfunctioning is when we are doing so much of the work to heal, or so much of the work to keep the relationship going, or so much of the work to keep recovery going. Oftentimes, it can look like the betrayed spouse or partner is doing a lot of the overfunctioning. And betrayeds all over the world would say, yes, Sam, if I don't book therapy appointments, if I don't book counseling appointments, if I don't sign us up for a class or sign us up for intensives, or if I don't send memes, if I don't display and provide the energy for recovery work, it's not going to get done. I get it. It sucks. It's awful. But you have to ask yourself, why are you overfunctioning? Sometimes we overfunction because we are terrified that the relationship or the recovery work won't make it. Sometimes we overfunction because of childhood or developmental trauma, unmet childhood needs. For me, I was an overfunctioner because of some real deep mom issues. I've worked tremendously hard to deal with them and to heal from them. And I'm a work in progress. I haven't arrived, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Maybe you overfunction because you feel like you have to. Because if you don't, you might lose the relationship. And it's a terrifying place to be. I've been there. I get it. But anytime we're overfunctioning, we're also underfunctioning in other areas. I don't know where you're underfunctioning, but if you're overfunctioning here, I can bet you're probably underfunctioning when it comes to self-care, taking care of yourself, feeding yourself. And we slip into self-abandonment and self-neglect because we are trying so desperately to survive. You see, overfunctioning can be a survival tactic. It might be how we survived when we were young. It might be how we survived when we were teenagers. It could be that that is how we made it this far. And old keys won't open up new doors. And so you might be in a situation where you're just coming to a point of exhaustion. It's true that we gravitate towards what's easier or what we're good at. And sometimes we gravitate towards overfunctioning because that's what we're good at. It's what we've been doing. It's how we've survived. It is how we have made sense of the world and our world. The problem is, in the middle of that overfunctioning is this little buffering wheel of resentment. This little wheel that is building and building and building, unfaithful or betrayed. We start to have all sorts of resentment start to build inside of us like a fire, and eventually that fire is going to come out sideways. I don't know how, but I promise you it'll come out. So I wonder if you're overfunctioning today, and I wonder if it isn't time for you to say, you know what, I am. It's exhausting. Sometimes it's even a tactic to stay in denial. We just stay on the hamster wheel, and we just keep going, because we might be denying the fact that we are in a situation where it might be time for a change. I'm not saying it's time for divorce. I'm not saying it's time to leave the relationship. I'm saying that perhaps it's time for you to say, okay, I can no longer live like this. I can no longer keep going the way that I'm going. I can no longer tolerate this, because what we tolerate, we cannot change. Perhaps it's time for you to say to your partner, the under-functioning party, I'm sorry, I'm really struggling. It's time for you to start to pull your weight. Is this an ultimatum? No. Is this just a conversation? Yes. Where you say, look, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I need you to start showing some initiative. I need you to start showing some action. I need you to start booking appointments, reading, finding books, finding memes, finding articles, showing initiation. Because if you don't, that hurts me, and that communicates a message to me that's alarming. But if you continue to tolerate the under-functioning, I wonder if you're not harming yourself. And this is a difficult spot to be. But maybe it is time, my friend. Maybe it's time to say, listen, I have been stuck in this pattern, and I can't keep going like this. It is not loving myself, caring for myself. It is neglecting myself. It's harming myself. And I can't keep living like this, because it is time for the other party to rise up and at least show some initiative. And if they don't, and if you do this, and it's not an ultimatum, but it's just a conversation, and if there's no change at that point, it might be time to really consider the fact that perhaps there are some very deep issues, and it's an enormous red flag. I don't know what that means to you. I just know it's an enormous red flag. If you can find the right help, if you can find an expert, I'm positive you can get to the root of your overfunctioning. Maybe you're an underfunctioner and you're watching this going, Sam, I'm the underfunctioner. I promise you the right kind of help can help you find out why. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can email me at samshealingpodcast@gmail.com, or leave a comment here, or send me a DM. I hope today encourages you. I hope that you understand you are worthy of boundaries. You are worthy of holding boundaries and expectations for your partner, and that you are worthy of not having to be the overfunctioner in your relationships. Have a great day.